Check, check, check. There we go. I think we got sound now. Go like this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. All right. Let's get started. Quick introduction. Actually, let me shuffle one more window around here. Let's get this here. Okay. And let me make sure I got the chat somewhere. There it is. Does System 76 have ARM laptops or only x86? That's a good question. I don't know, actually. I've been looking at their desktops, actually. I think I might end up getting one of the desktops. But it will be probably won't go for ARM necessarily. Cool, thank you. Yeah, hey Dexter, how's it going? Good morning. Gotcha, yep, okay. Quick introduction. Hello everybody, my name is Tim. This stream we're going to be working on a couple things to do with CircuitPython. So if you don't know what CircuitPython is, the website for it is right here, circuitpython.org. It's a version of Python that can run on these tiny computers called microcontrollers. And I actually have one of them here in the camera as well. This is a rotary Trinky. I don't know. Let's see if we can get it to focus here. Oh, there we go. Maybe. This is a rotary Trinky, so you can see it's got a potentiometer soldered onto the top there, and the microcontroller is actually this chip on the bottom. Let's see if we can get it to focus again, maybe. And so this one is a SAMD21, fairly small, if you will, computer. It's not super powerful, but it has the rotary encoder built in, and you can spin that thing around, and then it's also obviously got the USB port right there, so you can just plug this into a PC, or you can plug it into actually a phone as well if you have the right kind of cable. So we're going to look at that a little bit more in a few minutes, but to get back to the introduction, CircuitPython is what we're going to be working on. This is one of those CircuitPython devices. If you are interested in this kind of stuff, if you want to help support the project, the CircuitPython project, it's primarily funded by a company in New York called Adafruit. They make hardware and software and also learn guides and all sorts of other great content, videos and things. So this is their website, Adafruit, and like I said, you can purchase hardware from them. So like this device I'm working on right here, rotary Trinky, is right here. So it's $7 for that little gadget there, and so you can see they have it plugged into a computer right there. So we're going to be doing something pretty similar to that. So if you like this project, if you want to help support it, one of the ways you can do that is by supporting Adafruit, because they pay folks to work on the project full time. So that's super cool. So diving in a little bit, the first thing I'm going to work on is actually pretty far down into the weeds, I guess, in CircuitPython. One of the nice things about CircuitPython, it's super good for beginners. It's super easy to iterate. It's super quick to learn how to do most stuff with it. But we are actually going to kind of be jumping into the deep end a little bit. We are looking at the way the stubs are built. And also it's going to be, I guess, a little bit of a lesson in GitHub Actions for me. I'm not super familiar with Actions. I kind of get the idea, and I have been exposed to it a lot through CircuitPython and the libraries. So I know kind of what it does generally speaking, but the specifics of how different actions work is still a little bit beyond me. So I'm going to be trying to learn some of that. And mostly the goal is to figure out how to get these stubs, which I figured out they do get built, and they do get, I guess, uploaded as an artifact, I think might be the right term. And so we want to figure out how to get them to upload into PyPy from there. So that's going to be the first thing we're looking at. How's it going, Johnny? Good morning. Well, it's morning for me. Let's see, by the way, if you're on Linux, you have a webcam, maybe there's a nice use for a rotary encoder. Oh, that would be cool if you could hook up the focus, actually. Yeah, that would be cool. So this camera here is on, it's on a phone, and it's this application I found that runs the camera and then gives you like a web server for it. So you go to the go to the IP address there and can pull it up, configure it a little bit. That would be really sweet though, if you could zoom in and out, control the focus. Interesting, I'll have to play with that. B4L control. Focus auto. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to play with that. That sounds super cool. This one is on Android. The camera that's on me, this one I guess would be just plugged in more so. It's a webcam just plugged into Linux. I could probably do it on there. I've been thinking about getting the camera that Scott uses. Sony is it V1 or Z1 or something? It's got that really nice focus mode, product mode, or focusing. I don't know. I was reading a little bit about it, and I know Scott's talked about it a few times. But it's got a really nice way of focusing in on a specific thing in front of it and kind of ignoring people when it's in that mode. So that's a super cool thing. Might pick up one of those one of these days. Nice. Yeah. Hey Fede. I don't know. I don't remember if I said. I think I did. Maybe. Anyway, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in again. So let's look at stubs. So I have actually this repo open, and I guess one of the things I can show is that since last week I made a little bit of progress on the stubs. So we've had in the project, in the main CircuitPython project, we've had the ability to make the stubs for a while. You can run make stubs, and it will generate all of these PYI files for you. Like, let's see, we don't have them. Why don't we just run it? Yeah, let's run it. So we can go make stubs, and it's that easy. It just generates all the stuff for you. And I think it's running even a check on them also. It's like parsing them and looking at them as well. There is a warning in one of them, but there's no, I guess, errors in any of them. So it does complete, and it makes these files right here. And we could look inside one of these. These are PYI files, which is a file type specifically used for typing, for stubs typing, just like this stuff does. And so the purpose of this stuff is so that you can, let's see, let's go to test project. Test project. The purpose of this stuff is so that editors, IDEs like PyCharm, for instance, is the one that I use, but there's also VS Code. A lot of folks use, I think, Sublime and maybe Atom and stuff like that as well. So there might be plugins for those also. Oh, nice. Sony ZV-1. Yeah. I'm interested in picking up one of those, I think. But having these stubs, it basically gives you the ability to have the IDE know some things about the different tools that you're trying to use. So like, you know, right here, we're trying to use digital in out, and we hook up board.led, and let's see, we hook up another one there. We had to look up a direction on this digital IO object and find the input value. We also had to find a pull and a down value there, and an output as well there. So if you already know, if you're familiar with digital IO, then like you might know this stuff and it's super easy. You can just type it in and that's all good. But if you want like some help from your IDE, you can see like as I type here, it's kind of like offering things to put, and you know, sometimes it will offer up things inside of whatever you're looking at. So like digital IO, and it's offering up here direction and pull and all of that stuff. But I think it's really only knowing about it right now because it's in this file. You can see these ones up here, they're red because it says no module name, so it's not actually finding these imports. And if we look in the test environment, which is somewhere, the test environment is, let's make another terminal. Actually, you know what? Let's open up this other project as well. Let's open up the stubs project. So, stubs project. So the stubs, they're currently actually stored inside the main CircuitPython project. But in playing around with this and tinkering and figuring out how to get them to upload to PyPy, I ended up setting up a separate small repo that has just the stubs and nothing else. So this is also the virtual environment that we were using inside that other project. can see here there's no CircuitPython stuff inside of here. So what we can actually do right now, this test project is hosted on PyPy with this name, CircuitPython stubs foamyguy. So if I go back to here, I can actually just go, I'm already sourced into that virtual environment. So that's where my terminal's at. And I can just go pip install this CircuitPython stubs foamyguy. It will find it and install it. And if we give it a second to refresh, you can see these red lines will go away because now it knows what these things are. And I can even like click inside of digital in out now. I can like look at the function and see the types of all this stuff, which is super nice. And it would also offer up all of these suggestions for what to do or what's on digital IO now, even if they weren't in this file already. Just a heads up, if you're doing long live streams, oh, the battery will run out. Okay, USB charging is lower power. Interesting. Okay, so it goes net down. Testing, I can do 5 or 6 hours. Okay, yeah, I usually go around 3. I've crept up a little higher a few times, and I've gone a little lower a few times. 5 or 6, it would have to be some kind of like special occasion to want to do 5 or 6. I had to buy a fake battery and a mount adapter. Okay, so you have like something that fits in the battery hole but actually just hooks up to a different adapter that charges quicker. Interesting. Mount battery or a mount charger. To look into that if I do get one. So this is why the stubs are really cool, because again, it lets your IDE know stuff about these things. Like if you didn't know what's max size do or what's it for, right? I can just control click, go right through there and see, like, in this case, it's actually ignored. It's going to get removed in 7.x. If it was still important, then right here it would tell you what it was for. So it's really nice to have all that information kind of at your fingertips in the IDE. So it is going to be really cool when we can get this to install from PyPy. Okay, so that's what stubs are. And that's kind of what we want to do, is figure out how to get them to install to PyPy. You can see, if I take one more quick peek back in the test environment, you can see after I installed that, I now have all of the CircuitPython modules. I think they're called modules. I have all of those modules, or maybe it's packages. I'm not sure, actually. We have all those CircuitPython objects, I'll say, for now, inside of here. So they did install. And the thing that turned out to be actually the most difficult is we need them to install into the root of site packages, right? Because when you are writing CircuitPython code, you don't, so I actually have these commented out here. We don't write it like this, right? From CircuitPython import digital IO. This is not how we do it. But if we install the normal kind of default way with PyPy, which is like packages here, or packages data like this. Well, this one actually says digital IO, but it'd be CircuitPython stubs here. You can see I've went through a bunch of experimenting to figure this out. If we use those more standard installation ways, though, like packages and package data, it ends up inside of site packages, CircuitPython stubs, and then all of this stuff in here. And the problem with that is then it requires you to do the imports like this. They do work. Once you do the imports like this, it does recognize what digital IO is and what board and display IO and everything else. But this code is no longer portable because you can't run it this way on a microcontroller. So obviously we need to get it to where it works just like this without the from. And so the way that I was able to figure out to do that was put everything in the root of site packages. And the way that we do that is using this data files parameter. And so it basically takes it's a list of tuples, and each tuple is 2 elements or 2 items. The first one tells you where you're gonna install the thing to, and the second one is a list of all the things you want to install there. In this case, we just have one thing per one thing per place, because we basically are just going to copy in init py into the correct folder. So the digital IO one into the digital IO, BLE into BLE, so on and so forth, all these different ones into their own directories. So it might be possible somehow to do like multiple packages and name one package for each one of these things. I did try that a little bit, but I never got it working quite correctly. So this is the way that I ended up doing it and actually got it to work. So the main difference between what I have done here and how it is in the CircuitPython project, is it upload anywhere? Yeah, you can. So it is here. Let me grab a link. Actually, I have GitHub. So it's uploaded on PyPy. I'll show that as well. Let me see. GitHub. Let's see. foamyguy. It should be near the top, I think, of repositories. Yeah, this one. Stubbs foamyguy test. Also, how's it going, Samurai? So this is the project on GitHub, and again, this is just the small one. It's not the full integration with the CircuitPython repo. That's what we're going to be working on. And then in PyPy, you can actually install it right now using this name. So if you go like pip install this, it should get it for you as well. I would recommend probably doing it in a virtual environment because, like I was just saying, it puts everything into the root of site packages. So there's a lot of potential for name collisions here, especially maybe if you use Blinka. I think maybe like Blinka Display IO, Digital IO, some of those get filled in by Blinka. I have no idea how it interacts with that yet. So yeah, virtual environment's probably good. So the main difference though is that in this test project, the stubs are built and checked in manually, right? Like I built them and committed the results and pushed it and everything, and then they showed up here. And the actions right here, the one with twine. So build and publish. This is actually what's doing the uploading. But I cannot say as though I know specifically how. I just know that it is. So this is picking up, obviously credentials out of the environment variables and Python setup py sdist. Okay, I don't know what that sdist, but that's part of setup py. Maybe we can figure out what that does. I guess that's gonna create this folder maybe because this is trying to upload dist. Interesting. I was thinking that this was just uploading straight from the stuff that's checked in, like this folder right here, but it might not be actually. This might actually be building in the action and then uploading the build result. Estes source distribution. Okay. Yeah, you can tell probably I'm very green with like the build tools and the actions and the deploy tools and all of that. I kind of do a lot manually that's could be done automatically these days. I'm getting more and more up to speed all the time though, honestly. Like CircuitPython has been great for me to learn a lot of this new kind of infrastructure stuff that I did not previously deal with. So can we run this we can run this locally, right? And see what it does. It would create a folder called dist, I guess, probably. And that's inside this repo, which is this test one. Python setup py sdist. Okay. Oh, but it looks like it. Oh, no. Okay, it did create it. And it did, it created an egg info. It was a little bit different than the other one. That's probably to do with the way that might have it named differently in different places. So it did create dist, and it created a tar file. So if we Did we remove? Did we remove this? So the core problem we need to solve is that, I don't know, I guess if this sdist build, if it's relying on CircuitPython stubs directory here being checked into the repo, because if I understand correctly, I think the goal is that in the CircuitPython repo, let's go to my fork of that as well, GitHub, CircuitPython. So in here, the stubs are not checked in. And I think the idea, let's go to a better branch. I actually made 2 attempts at this. I think it's this one that ended up working better. So inside of here, it does something. Stubs. So does check stubs also build them? I'm actually not familiar with make check stubs. This is my fork of CircuitPython, but it is on the Adafruit branch. Let's update. I don't know if I've updated. Guessing I have not, if it's gonna take this long. I guess there is down here. Oh, we'll see. Whoops. Oh, I did cancel. That's not what I should have done. I meant to hide it. I do think maybe I did this earlier. Not sure why it was taking so long, but we'll let it run. I think we'll go to... So this is my fork, but I'm in the Adafruit main branch. We make a new branch for this, maybe? Yeah, I think we should make a new branch called like stubs actions, because I'm going to try to figure out how to do the build and then the upload to Twine all from actions. This has dist here. So did this get created from running make stubs actually, or? While this is updating, gonna play around with this for a minute. So when I ran this, did it create that dist folder also? Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. Okay, so we don't need necessarily setup.py sdist, I don't think, because make stubs does do this. What does make check stubs? Does that do creating and checking? Okay, this thing is updated now. Make check stubs. And then what was this, J2 or something? I think that's like number of cores of the CPU or something. I could close this. Stubs J2. Okay, it does look like it's making it as well. Okay. And yeah, we do have stubs now and dist. Okay. So close. Let's make a branch. Let's make a branch. Source 2 cores. Okay. 2 cores to do the compiling. Yeah, does that work on builds as well? Like regular just build for CircuitPython? Make and then board equals? Maybe I should be doing that. Well, let's make a branch, git checkout. Whoa. check out B. We want to name it, I think, stubs actions. It's from Adafruit main. We do not want to track Adafruit main. And I think, honestly, I want to try to turn off some of the actions because I believe it does a lot of things, right? Yeah. Well, so we have build, Windows port, recommit. And the stuff we do currently is inside a build. Right? Yeah. So we're already making it. So we don't have to figure that out actually. This seems like it's already making it. And then, in fact, I guess it must be making it because it's making it and it's uploading it. And I found the artifacts, and it is listed here. So really the only thing we need actually is the twine piece. So can we twine things that are in artifacts? Like if we're inside of an action running twine, can we reference back to something that got built and then uploaded as an artifact, or even maybe just something that got built, even if it's not an artifact? Let's see. Jobs generally not only see stuff. Mad at make J, it must be J sharp probably, because I'm compiling GCC. I gotcha. What is this? Stubs. Check stubs. Okay, this is what it's running. I see. Okay. Okay, so it is running. It's just running stubs. It's like a alias and then some other stuff. Okay. MyPy. Interesting. I'm not sure what MyPy is, but I guess it must be doing the parsing and checking, like for those warnings that popped out. Nice. Where this is in the make file? Where did you find this? Yeah. Here? Okay. Nice. Okay. So stubs, name stubs. So I think we could possibly just let's see, this is name. So all of this is one action or one workflow. I'm not sure the right term. One part of the workflow. Build and validate stubs. So can we go twine from an artifact? GitHub actions twine upload from artifact. I publish. So this is not using twine, but instead, whatever this is, YPA. Although this is what we want to do, the dist folder. Optional static typing for Python. Add annotations to the programs. Use MyPy to check them. Okay, so it's checking if all the types are inserted correctly. Or, well, maybe it doesn't know correctly, but if they're missing or not. Python linter on steroids. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. It's actually really cool. You only need to call twine like you're doing it on your repo and use the same path that is specified for the stubs. Okay. So we could maybe try, what if we try taking the one from here. So this is the test repo. And it has this stuff. Oh, we might need these? We probably need these. Maybe if we grab these two actions. And if we put them after this one. This got wonky here. I think it wants this maybe? Not quite. No, that's still weird. Okay, let's just copy it again. There we go. See, I almost want to make this more specific. I mean, yeah, because we already have one called that, which is installing different dependencies or something else. By dependencies, build and publish. It's really not building though, right? Building took place back here. Publish stubs. So do we want to keep this, I guess? Yeah, I guess we might as well keep that. I mean, I do think this is building them. I think this is building them. But this also seems to be working in the other repo, so maybe we just keep that. So maybe this might be all we need, I guess. One thing I do want to do, I want to see if we can run less things, because this will take forever, I think, because well, I mean, it won't take forever, it will take a while, because it's trying to do like a bunch of building. Looks like this one, I guess it says it took 10 minutes, which is not, I guess, that bad, but it is longer than I would like to wait for it. Let's see. But the GitHub actions for CircuitPython, we're using Docker image with stuff pre-installed. But it looks like stock. Nice way to speed up the builds. Oh, if we use an image that has, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because then you wouldn't need to do like pip install all those kind of like infrastructure dependency stuff. That'd probably be a good idea. So can we take some of these out? Can we oh hey, what is this? Maybe I should have kept I should have looked at all the places that says stubs. Oh, okay, no, this is going to S3 though. And that's the bottom one. Okay, so there's nothing else below that. So what is doing all of the building of all the different boards? Like, I don't necessarily need to have it build all the boards to test this. But does that break something else, I guess, if I turn it off? Build it. So these are MPY cross Mac. Build arm. Okay, this is building all the boards. So can I... V Stenza main 3. So can I is there comment out, or should I just delete these? I think this will... This will no longer do these things, which we don't get times on individually, but this did take 10 minutes. We could get rid of MPY cross map too, actually. That's 4 or 5 minutes. We don't necessarily need it, I don't think. That. This one is now test. Some dependency installing as well going on here. That's our new stuff. Building docs is fine for now. Loading stubs to S3, that's fine. Let's try it like this. These are in git ignore, so they're not going to get checked in. So basically I have new sections for PyPy dependencies and publish stubs, and I took out all of the build stuff. Well, a bunch of the build stuff. Okay. Test uploading stubs from actions, but before we push, I think we need to actually do things. I think we don't... I don't think we can use this name because I don't have access, I don't believe, to this name. And even if I do, we don't want to push to it anyway. We want Scott or somebody to kind of sign off on that. I almost don't know. I almost want to do like I almost want to do another one just so we know for sure the new one worked and it's not from that test repo. Do I need to change anything else other than that? none of this stuff is checked in. Take one more quick look at this test project, because in here you have foamyguy. Still makes stubs without foamyguy locally. Yeah, and it doesn't reference it inside of here, so that might be all we need. One thing we should do, doesn't really matter if we do it before we push, I guess, but before I forget at least, let's uninstall this from the virtual environment. That way, if we do install it here in a minute, we will be able to easily see that it works. We got one, and I think also the thing we need to do is on this repo, probably set the PyPy things. We can't do on the stream. Here. And add these in. It'll take me a minute here. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Let's go. You know what? I also need to pull up other repo where I did this and remember the names. I think it's if it's PyPy. Username and PyPy password, but we definitely need to know those things first. So let's get that. Okay. You look in this repo. Okay, PyPy password, PyPy username. Secrets, add a secret. Password. More. Oh. So it's doesn't seem like it's saved. Add secret. Name is invalid. Fail to add secret. Name is invalid. Maybe it's because it's a fork and something else. So it's not letting me add that. So I kind of suspect that it might be because it's a fork. And the main repo already has one with that name? Maybe this is all GitHub stuff. It lets you edit. Okay. Maybe, so I did copy paste it from the page. Maybe it copy pasted something weird. Whoops. Yeah. Yeah, okay. That time it worked when I typed the name. Maybe it must have copied something weird in addition to PyPy password. Thanks for checking that out. I appreciate having somebody else let me know that that worked. This is, I guess, probably just like this. Okay. Have a username and password. And now I think we can push this branch. It should run those actions. If everything works, then this will show up on PyPy. So let's try it. This. All of this. Guess none of it's actually checked. It's going to the wrong remote. So I think a lot of this stuff is just because I don't keep this local repo up to date that often. So these are all just other commits for different stuff because they've never been pushed into my fork before. Just uploading stubs. This is my actual only part that's my actual commit. This is now definitely foamyguy. Successful. Those actions. Okay. Running. Hey Brent, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. This is the changes. Can we see the run thing? Let's see here. Build. Hot out. Nice. Yeah, I switched over. Had the windows open for a bit right after we got up, but I switched it over to AC before I started streaming. I knew it was going to be heating up. Heating up here as well. Okay. Fingers crossed here. So we do still have to wait on a few things because I didn't delete anything that was above stubs. There is still a fair amount of stuff going on up there, but publish stubs right here is where the new stuff happens, hopefully, if we did everything right. I guess if we were going to take out all the builds, we could have also taken out the downloading GCC or whatever it's doing in some of this part too, but that's right. I think this will only take a minute or two as opposed to like 5 or 10, so if this one does not work and if it takes a while, then I'll try to cut more stuff out before I push it again. Let's see, what is this step called, or whatever these subsections? I'm not sure if they're called steps. Calling new packages. Install deps. Install deps. So maybe we could get rid of all three of these as well, possibly? Oh. Uh-oh. Failed this one. Words is missing. So I think it's probably mad because I commented out. This where it says board. So we're gonna have to probably turn this one off if we don't let it do the builds. Although this does come before the builds. I would have thought. This will set up Python for us, which we definitely do want Python. I don't know if we need any of the rest of this stuff. CI new boards check. Where does that come from? Tools. Board info. Yeah. I think we will definitely need to turn that off for now. I don't think we really need to duplicate check either for now. I'm tempted to do install deps as well. See, a new boards check. Yeah, thank you. Boards check. I'm tempted to do install deps as well, but I wonder if it does install some things that we do actually need. It did only take a minute to get past that part, so why don't we leave it for now? The rest of this stuff succeeded. So let's try it like this. Curious what all of these are here for. I wonder if it's because I need to run submodule update thing. Should try to figure out if we could have it put a Sparky emoji to print inside of here when it fails something. That'll be fun. Okay, so here's cloning a bunch of those submodules. Okay, yeah, we're not quite to depths yet. This is still the first one. Or, well, it's before depths at least. I don't know if it's first. Not quite. Let's see. Actually, while that's running, let me show this thing. I meant to show this at the beginning. I never did actually do it. We talked about it. This was the device I showed, GitLab emoji. Nice. Nice. Yes. Yes. This is awesome. Wonder if it works in GitHub or if there is a equivalent one. Let's do this as well. So I had this Neo Trinky that I showed, or not Neo Trinky, but rotary Trinky. Let's try to get the camera set up for this. It'll be a little tough. So this is the rotary Trinky. I have a crank arm that I think Noah and Pedro possibly designed. It was from a project about a year or so ago, maybe a little longer. And I have this OTG cable plugged into my phone. So let's see, I don't know how well it will focus, and it will be tough for me to fit everything all in the frame here, but it has two modes. So by default, if I just start cranking it, it will turn the brightness up. So that's what it did there on my phone. I can crank it back down. And then, of course, these rotary encoders, they have a push, so I can push it. And let's see if we'll get it to focus again, maybe. It's going to be tough because it's going to try to see the foreground, but the other one is mouse wheel. So you can scroll through like Discord or, Twitter or any kind of scrolling, any kind of scrolling app you use, right? Any kind of news feed or anything like that. You can just crank right through it with this thing. So that's really cool. I was excited to get that working last night on this rotary Trinky. And so you can use it on a PC, of course, as well, but the phone was the main thing we wanted to do with it, so super cool. All right, let's see where we got to here. That's still running, okay. So, but these... What does that mean? It almost, it seems like skipped or something, because it did a green check on all of these, but no green check or anything on these. Yeah, encoder I think is really neat. It's such a cool thing. It's not super practical to crank scroll like that, but it's just a fun tactile way to interact with it. Oh, bicycles, that's a good idea. Yeah, like a stationary bike, you use it to scroll. That way you have to exercise in order to keep reading. It's a good idea. So what are we gonna happened with this thing? I wonder why these got skipped or something. Go out of order or something, do they? Not listed down here anymore. So in my build, I wonder if it does not like having things commented out like this. It just it ran the build and validate. That one seems successful. Oh, maybe this says uses action upload artifact. This one has no uses. It somehow waits and runs them at the end? I don't know though, it says 0 seconds. It's weird that it doesn't have like a fail or anything either. I don't know the correct term for this like unit. This check was skipped. I'm not sure this is relevant. So there's a lot of these run actions upload artifact v2. Including this one. Stubs has been uploaded. Yeah. There's a step missing called need PyPy. Might have been removed weeks or months ago. Okay, yeah, that's probably true because I do think that the stubs got uploaded once or attempted to be, because it is listed on PyPy under the real name. You said needs PyPy or need PyPy. Is that? Oh, right. The conditions right here that say steps. So these are called steps. So let's try to find the history of this file and see if we can find where it was. That's going to be tough, isn't it? Let's see. Is there an easy way for me to find an old commit that has that in it? I mean, I could change around. Let's look at the condition. What is this doing? If it contains the steps needs PyPy dot outputs dot setup py. Whoops, we don't want to do that. Setup py. Then run these things. Maybe we could just get rid of. I mean, to test it, we could just get rid of the. Well, actually, we took this. Hang on, we took this from here, didn't we? Yeah. It's here. Need. Check for setup py. Aha. Okay, so maybe we just need this also. So we'll put that above. Be like right here. Nice catch. Thank you for that, Samurai. Push. I'm gonna have a billion commits with the same message, but it's either this or I just keep adding more agains to the end, so roll with this for now. Yeah, May 2019 was the last time it uploaded. So maybe I could just find, chronologically, just find commits from right before that. See if this one works. Tempted to cut more things out too, but I'm gonna resist the urge because I don't want to do that much different if we can avoid it. I do want to cut out the parts that take the longest time, but I also don't want to accidentally like turn off something that is gonna actually end up interacting with it in a bad way and will need to be fixed again later once it gets turned back on. So it's better to get as close as we can. Maybe if we do get it working this way, maybe I'll go back and push again with all of the normal actions turned on and then just let it run, work on something else for a while. Oh yeah, that would complicate things if it was Travis, yeah, because then it would be like a whole different, I guess it would be, I'm not actually even familiar with Travis either, but I assume it would be a different, like instead of .workflows, build YAML would be a Travis config file of some sort. Now we have this check for setup pi, which is the need pi. It's actually kind of good. Thinking back on it, it's actually kind of good that they did the little like skipped icon or whatever instead of making it green. I mean, you could argue that that action did run. It just contains a condition that turned out false, and so it didn't actually do anything. And it was nice of them actually to make a distinction there instead of saying like, "Yep, this ran fine, no problem." They actually put a different icon to indicate like it tried to run, but it got skipped. That would have been even harder to troubleshoot, I think. Could plug in the let's see. Oh, I don't have the right cord for it. Could plug in the crank and crank through the actions log here. Let's grab a different USB cable. Oh, okay. Build and validate stubs. Oh, we got that one last time too, though, right? Yeah, these ones down here are the ones we skipped. Uh-oh. Okay, okay. Upload succeeded. It had some kind of fail, but it must have retried, it looked like. Oh. Auto skipped. Nope, failed. Publish stubs. Bad request. Invalid value for version. Can't use PEP 440 local versions. Loading distributions. It looks like it's trying to upload the correct thing, but it failed because of something to do with the version. Is that the way that it does? Does it have those like template fields for versions? So this doesn't have a version in it. It's on a branch. It will never generate a valid version. Oh. How? Is there a way I could work around that, or if I what if I push it as a separate repo? You know if that could work? What, how does it know it's in a branch, though? Fields defined. Figured out a way. Invalid value for version. I don't even know. I don't even know where that number came from. Might be able to work on CircuitPython main. foamyguy CircuitPython main. We can try that. Let's try that. We could just merge this branch I've been working on over to foamyguy main, and then push it. And then my main will be different than Adafruit main, but I could always just reclone or somehow reset it back. Let's try that. I do think I was on main in this one where it worked. Yeah, I was on main in this one. So let's go main. Check out. So what I think we want, do we want to update it from Adafruit main first and then merge in subsections? I think so. Go merge Adafruit main into foamyguy main. And let me run these submodules, which I also never remember the actual command all the way, but I know it's in this guide. Submodule init, yeah, this thing. Should alias this to a shorter command. So let's make sure we changed here. Yeah, main. Whoops. Okay. I feel like we're good there. So, okay, these are already committed though. Main, foamyguy main. So this is going to bring it up to date with Adafruit main. I want to go ahead and also merge. I think I might want to go ahead and also merge the stubs actions. That way all of my changes to build will already be there the first time I push. That way it won't try to run all of these builds. Let's do that. Stubs actions to main. Now the top commit should be these. Add all this stuff and also comment out all of this stuff, yeah. Okay. This will probably take a second to push, I'm guessing. No? Okay. It's only 5,700 commits. Here we go. Now we're 3 commits ahead. Let's see, it does think we failed 10 minutes ago. It's running a new set now, though. And it's still finishing up this one on the other branch, but we have our 3 main branches here. Build, test. does something like get describe tags. Oh, okay. I wonder if I could find the spot where it does that and just tell it 7.0 or something static for now. That does get into the down into the weeds of like changing stuff that might actually need to be integrated further though too. I don't want to cut out too much to get it working. Let's see. Never actually used these before. Get describe tags. Undescribe. Maybe that's like inside of somewhere else, or it's on top of one of these other commands, possibly. In path, info path, paginate, dir, or maybe it's get describe tags. Ah, yep, that's it. So that's a describe as a command, I think, maybe. If, although this does still show basically the same. That's pretty much the same as it was. Okay, making the stubs. Loading the actions, PyPy dependencies, publish. No. Same thing. Let's see. Yeah, it does still have this. Same thing, yeah. Invalid error. Valid value for version. This is what I was looking at here, but I don't know where it's. I don't know where it's actually getting that from. There's a version here, but this file is not checked into the repo. So this is getting created somehow through make. The make file. Okay, so this is actually just running that sdis command inside of here. Yeah, this is this the code? This is the code. It's generating that string. Yeah. Oh, this does say though mutate it to be a valid SimVar and valid Python version. You still end up with an invalid one. So what's invalid about this? Maybe we can just make it valid. Know the problem but don't know how to fix for this. So actually, yeah, here's where it's running that describe as well. Get out. So maybe we could just put something hard-coded right here. Expects a virgin checkout matching what is on Git. As soon as we add files, Git calls itself dirty. So what does it say under version? So I noticed this says ASCII digits and periods, but it does not mention hyphens. And we do have hyphens in there. Oh. Well, so we're splitting it out to pieces. Pieces is greater than 2. Merge the commit portion onto the commit count. Merge the commit count and build the pre-release identifier. That's adding .dev and pieces and pop, and then version is going back together with dashes. It's making it end up. Oh no, the dashes are gone. Dashes are gone. The plus though. Plus. This also does not say plus. Only period is the non-letter or digit. So if we just made that another dot, we would end up with dev18 dot. Try that. Don't need an empty line. I don't know what else this might break though. Windows port. Maybe I should try turning off Windows port. That one seems to be taking a while. Finish. Too late now, I guess, but. Windows port, like, is this building a port? Is this talking about building these builds in a Windows environment? Or is it talking about building a port that's actually, like, built for Windows? Whoops. This again. Further up the log, normalizing. Okay, so that must be where it must have printed normalizing when it made those changes, basically. To remove, it does seem like it was removing the dashes, although it is weird because, say, this would be putting the dashes back, but they do go away somehow. So that one that was in the log did not have them. Ports Windows. Ah, okay. To check that the build process will work on Windows. Nice. Sys2. Yeah, I was before I moved to Linux, I got the build working on Windows a few times, but I was always using a virtual environment, so I don't know if that counts. So I was kind of inside of Ubuntu. I'm tempted, if this one doesn't work, I'm kind of tempted to just cut version out here and hard code like 7.0 something that's like super basic. Oh, I saw red go by. Yeah. See if this has the one with the dot in it now. Yeah, it does. Oh, actually says more though. Start and end with a letter or numeral containing only ASCII numeric dot underscore and dash. Start and end the letter or numeral. We start and end with numerals containing only ASCII numeric. We do have one dash back in, but it does say here we can use dashes. So I mean, it seems like we are not breaking any of those rules. The plus, though, it does not mention plus. So the way that we had the plus there, yeah. So this part of it does not like that dot, I think. Was this, did it say the same thing in the last one? Hmm. No. It said the normalizing thing. So we don't want to get rid of that plus, actually. We want to put this back. Oh. What? No, come on. Back to the same as the repo. All right. Plus. What about like that? Just try hard coding it. Or if that's going to be invalid as well, though. The other thing is, I guess, if this is something to do with it being on a branch, or a fork rather, maybe I could just push it as a whole new repo? Of course, then it would end up with a different repo name. I don't know what else that could break. This is the wrong one. Go up pre-commit. There we go. See. Would be good if I could turn some more of this off. Is it 3 minutes? Okay. Not that bad. Still doing depths. The other thing I could try doing is Googling that error specifically and see if someone is like talking about it in the same context. Okay, building the stubs. Ooh, uploading the artifact. By dependencies. Oh, I don't think I saw any red. Oh, it's green. It's green. I have a green check. So this says it's successfully completed, so does it actually let me install them now? It's project. Let's go in here. Actually, no, let's go in here. Even though this is the other test stubs, this is where the virtual environment is. So this will make it easy to tell if it worked. So let's go clear. We need to rate for the rest of the actions? I mean, it should be done already, right? Not find a version. From version 7.0. This feels pretty close though. Definitely uploaded something. But if I this here says, oh, a -1 and then 7.0. Discarding from Python setup. Pick logs. Not find a version that satisfies the requirement. Can I just do, how do you, is it a colon? How do you specify the version? Pip. I tell it 7.0? Equals, okay. Oops. I've done an uninstall first. Okay, got anything? Nope, same thing. Oh, bummer. Thought we were close. And I still think we're probably close. This is saying get described tags. Turn to non-zero exit status. Does this get used anywhere else? Doesn't look like it. Maybe we should pick this stuff out for now. You know, the other thing we might be able to try is, well, we're not in the environment though. Let's go source. What's up? Here. Now we're inside the environment, so if we go pip install dot, does it work? Should probably do what this thing says one of these days. Okay, so that did say successfully installed. And it does have all the stuff here. That's a good sign. Can we uninstall it with this? Yes. Okay. Feel like we're close now. Okay. I think this is the one. Hope this is the one. But I think it's the one also. this makes me appreciate even more the super quick CircuitPython save to update, like cycle of iterating through whatever you're working on. Stuff like this where it's like make one change and then wait 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. Not nearly as fun to program, but ooh, gotta be done still. I could still probably turn more of this stuff off, but also, even though I'm changing version and everything, I do still want to try to go like as minimal as I can on the changes, because hopefully when we put this back in the main repo, it won't just fail because of something that I changed or modified for the sake of getting rid of it. Gotta go through and figure out what to do about it anyway. Let's see. Steps. Check for setup pi next. What is, oh, this, I think we saw this actually. This is printing the versions of stuff. GCC version, Python version. So we would need to get rid of at least GCC version if we stop installing all of the dependencies. That's true, otherwise that one would fail. Click. Done. Oh, that's for each thing though. Okay. And stubs. Well, I wonder if it's going to be mad that we used 7.0.0 again. Does it need to go up every time? Gotta fail this time. Bet it's not happy. Yeah, file already exists. Okay, so we will actually need to bump this. Then try again. So, and that won't be an issue when this automatic generation stuff works. If, as long as that stuff works fine on the main repo, then this particular thing won't be a problem. You get to wait again on this one though. Let's take a look at the CircuitPython org while this is running. Yeah, this one's merged. Have any open PRs here? I think we might be caught up. The other thing I was going to work on today possibly is working on moving more of those repositories. To attribute. Doesn't look like there's been any commits. const, because I was going to make another tweak on that one. Whoops. If there's any other open PRs though, we can get those merged before adding more. Also, like this one would need org. I guess actually that's where we're at, is all the rest of them need org. Cartesian has it, but flip input and annotation don't have it yet. It'll be a problem because they're newly created files, the stubs, which have not been uploaded to Git. It'll be a problem like when it goes to generate that version thing, you mean? Instead of the static one I replaced it with. There's a git ignore. I do think that's true. I do think there is that. The stubs, they don't get checked in, and they're yellow here, which is usually the color they turn if they're in git ignore. I haven't looked specifically though. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they are in git ignore. So maybe that'll be our saving grace then. Let's look at these two. It's been a minute since I messed with these. There was a couple things that changed inside cookie cutter to basically the same stuff that was in this PR is now in cookie cutter. There was also a couple other changes in cookie cutter as well. That should be all, done, shaken out by now. So I think we can get back to this stuff whenever we want. One looks good to go. Let's have fewer reviewers. If anyone's interested in reviewing, CircuitPython.org is a good place to review. We have fewer. I think what the thing is, we have fewer people that get tagged by that one than the old librarians one. Oh, okay. So we got published stubs here. It's green. Says it was successful. Now, do I need to use that? So this is the other one. Do I need to use version? Didn't find that version. Why is this stars? That's stars on the previous run as well? GitHub.com/CircuitPython does AdaBot run on it. Do you mean the CircuitPython org? I don't think AdaBot runs on anything inside there yet. But I do think it would eventually. Yeah, it would be my username. I'm not sure if it, maybe it's smart enough to blank it out. Let's look back at this previous one. Well, this one failed though. Let's look back at the previous one that succeeded. Okay, it does have that in there. Yeah, even on the upload as well. And that worked. This one doesn't. Oh, just didn't wait long enough. Look at that. So that succeeded. So that actually, yeah, look at that. All that stuff is there. So back over here, this has, yeah, I think we're there. We're there? I think we're there. So if I uninstall this, let's try without the version. Can we do it like this? Yes. So that one succeeded, and I didn't specify the version. You know what I should do is uninstall one more time. Uninstall one more time. And make sure these files are gone, which they are. Make sure these things are red, which they are. Actually, we could do it from in here. Why don't we do it from in here? Stubs 1. foamyguy 1. That succeeded. Got an index or whatever, and now these are not red. Awesome. I think we're there. So what would we actually PR? We would PR only the changes to, I think only the changes to build, not the changes inside of setup. My hope is that this stuff will not be a problem on the main branch. The actual main branch, the Adafruit main branch. And the only other thing I changed in here was this, to add my name so that it's actually a project I can push to. So stubs actions. So how do I want to do this? I think I want to try to use stubs actions if I can. And let's go compare. Compare to main. Where's main? Their repositories. Here we go. Main. This was in setup.py. This was in setup.py. This was in setup.py. This was in setup.py. All 4 of these commits were all to setup.py only. So none of them touch the build action. So we actually already in the state we want to be, I think. Stubs actions. It's 3 commits ahead. And it's just gonna fail actions because of the version stuff. Yeah. So I think maybe when it's on the main branch, it won't have an error here because it won't be, I mean, I'm still not sure exactly which part of it is causing trouble, but it won't be on a dirty branch or whatever, and like it won't happen, I guess, probably until release, or maybe not a release, but at least a push into main. So I think this is all we want to PR. It's a fetch upstream. Yeah, it's not behind. Okay. Steps in the actions workflows. Upload the generated stubs to PyPy. I turned all this stuff off though. We need to put that back actually. Yeah. We need to put all that back. We want to make a new branch that won't have that history in it. Yeah. I think I'm going to do that actually. I'm going to make one more new branch that will not have all of the commenting in and out. Doesn't matter that much, I guess, because I would commit after it to change it back, but can have basically one commit instead of multiple. So mon stub actions, I'm just going to open this up here. That way I can copy my new stuff out of here. We're going to go make sure we're up to date. Check out the upload stubs action. Fruit main no track. Build. Now we're going to leave everything on, but go ahead and add in. Actually, you know what we can do is pair. Oh, it doesn't give me maybe we could do it on the file. Yeah, this is what I want here. So this will let me just pull them in. Although this one did change, so not quite that easy, I guess. This section we can though. And we want to leave all of that. So what I'll do is grab this and then I'll go back and uncomment these. There we go. And we should not have any comments. And we should have the only changes being the new sections. Check for setup py, install PyPy dependencies, publish stubs. Okay. I don't know why it just picks random one of those. Okay. My foamyguy. Oh, nice. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. So it doesn't have all the commented out stuff anymore. I guess we could wait for it to fail here and copy it in. I was going to put the error about the version, just mention that it failed, because I assume the PR, action's going to fail as well. We should wait and see what this does. Of course, maybe it'll fail on my fork, but not in the PR when I do the PR. I don't know if that's a different set of actions. I don't know. Also, it's going to do everything, so we'd have to wait way longer. So maybe I won't wait for it. Steps in the actions workflow to upload the generated stubs to PyPy. Seems to fail for something about an invalid version number when it runs on my fork. But I was able to successfully test by changing the version string to be hard-coded instead of generated dynamically inside of setup pi. Changing I'm hopeful this issue is related to being a separate fork of the repo. Won't be a problem on this real main branch. Oh yeah, this failed already. Yeah. Able to successfully test it. The PyPy listing for the successful test can be found with pip install. CircuitPython stubs foamyguy 1. Okay, I'll probably go back and delete this once we have it working in the real project. This adds some steps in the actions workflow to upload the generated stubs to PyPy. Seems to fail for something about an invalid version number when it runs on my fork. I was able to successfully test it by changing the version number string to be hard-coded instead of generated dynamically. Hopefully this issue is related to being on a separate fork of the repo and won't be a problem on this real main branch. Test PyPy listing for the successful test can be found here for now. This is the error message. It's the error message. My fork when it does fail using the generated origin string. Okay. All right. Do we want to put anything else in here? Nice. Oh yeah, here's the link to the link from, this must be from PyPy. Nice. Thank you, Samurai. What do we do here? The music just paused. I think it's... Second half of this just blank? No. Okay. I see. Tooth cut out. Things like to disconnect every now and then. There we go. Now we're in a totally different spot. That's alright. Just go there for now. Don't switch. Okay. Nothing else comes to mind for putting in here, so I think we're probably good. So yeah, it will run the actions here. One thing we could see is if this one succeeds, maybe because it's part of the PR, possibly it'll be able to succeed, I'm not sure. But it may also take a while because it's going to run all the rest of the stuff as well. So it looks like that one might be first if these are chronological. All right, well, while that is running, why don't we do one more of these today? And then I think I'll probably call it a day after that. I got some running around to do, be going to the store here in a little while, so I'm gonna cut out a little bit earlier than I do some weeks. But let's do one of these though before we go. But let's go back. Is this one's done already. Flip input is annotation. No. Okay. This part's not true anymore, I don't think. This got handled already, just so we never close the issue. Right, because like docs here. Yeah. Yeah. And PyPy also because, whoa. What is that from? Oh, a reaction. Look, that looks different for some reason. I don't know. First PyPy release, did it succeed? Release actions, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this was successful. So this issue actually could be closed. I don't know if I had a PR for that. Let's see. PyPy names. No, not really. Both PyPy and read the docs are set up now in this repo. Close. Yeah, There's our fail X on this one. Guessing. Okay. Now this one failed for a different reason. It failed for no authentication, so maybe it doesn't have PyPy credentials in the secrets, which I don't know or have the ability to add even if I did know. So that will definitely have to wait for Scott or somebody. But I guess I don't know what order. Maybe it would have failed for this before it failed for the version thing. But it made it to there and it tried to run it. So I think once we get the right secrets and things filled in, maybe tweak one or two more things, I think we might be good to go on this finally. Which is awesome, because I definitely really enjoy having the stubs. Much easier for people to get, because they're super useful, so I'll try to make it as easy as possible. So in annotation, what we're going to do is we're going to basically do the same stuff we did in flip input to get it ready for having org in the name. Which is not actually that much. It's basically the image link, the code of conduct link, because that links back into the repo, and the URL inside of setup.py. So let's go open display.io annotation. And I'm on foamyguy main. I think what we want is to make a new branch from Adafruit main. So let's go get fetch Adafruit. Does not have Adafruit, get remote, add Adafruit, paste, now fetch. And now checkout -b prep for org in name, Adafruit main, no track. Let's go setup.py, and I think readme was the other place. So this is org right here. We do lowercase. I think we did an uppercase O and a lowercase on the rest, right? Yeah. Oh, and it's okay. No, that's the right spot. Yeah, CircuitPython org. Okay. 2 in readme. Oops, readme. Missed it twice there. So this is here. And like I was saying, I think this stuff is taken care of in Cookie Cutter for now. So we'll get back to making more of these, moved over repos in this new org. And I think the next time we make them, if you watched the stream a few weeks back when we did these ones, we had to run Cookie Cutter and then change some stuff afterwards. I think, fingers crossed, we're caught up now to where we'll run Cookie Cutter and it will just have all the right names in all the spots. What's the other thing we're looking for here? So one of them was the image. One of them is code of conduct. Contributing. Here we go. One thing that might be good is while we're here, what if we just do a find? Yeah. Got one here too. Okay. Okay, that looks good as well. I think that was it for flip inputs, so it should be the same here, I think. Got the 2 lines for the image and the target, 1 line for the code of conduct, the 1 line in CircuitPy. That's exactly what we've got here. Okay, we don't want to push there. Let's go. Oh. I should not have added Adafruit, but okay, let me cancel this. I should not have added Adafruit, and then I should not have made this from Adafruit main, right? Because this is CircuitPython org. But the thing is, I said get remote add Adafruit, and then I put the CircuitPython remote because the Adafruit one doesn't exist. So even though my local remote name is Adafruit, it's not actually the Adafruit GitHub. It is actually the CircuitPython GitHub. I should have done CircuitPython, but I don't think it actually does make a difference in this case since I pasted the correct and only existing URL. So yeah, that's actually, I think that's actually not a problem. So we could go ahead and push. We don't want to push there though. We do want to push to foamyguy. Push. Nice. Bring Docker images with stuff preloaded. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll end up removing that remote from my local copy here because I will end up, I think I have to add those remotes back after the URL in GitHub changes anyway, possibly. I don't know, it does some redirecting, maybe it would still work for a while, but I will definitely remove that remote and then not use it anymore. Let's see. Should have a, yeah. Renaming the repository to, I still spelled it wrong, repository, I was not even close, repository to have org in the name. The name of the repository should be changed to at the same time that this gets merged. Okay. Changes look good here. Create. Let's do tag for review. Again, it is a smaller group, so as many folks see it, but oh no, it doesn't have that. How did I do that? Let's see. How did I do that? That was Teams graphics. Repositories. This is why it's not listed there, is because it's not listed in this list. There is no add. Gotta go to the repository first, maybe? access. Correct password. I love it when you type your password and it's wrong and you get forwarded to a page telling you it's wrong and your browser pops up a thing that's like, hey, do you want to remember this password? You know, like, I don't think so. I think we want to go invite teams and graphics. Don't remember what we chose last time. I wonder if there's a way to make it so that, well, I guess that we're gonna add some that would not need to. And so I wonder if there's a way to make this automatically happen, but that's right, okay. Right. Okay, there we go. So now I think I can go to here and request graphics. Yeah, there we go. Cool. If anyone who is watching the stream, if you're interested in being in part of this graphics group, also if you're not in there already, let me know. We can get you added. I don't know if I have the rights to add people or not, but we can definitely get you added. We're always looking for folks who are wanting to work on the graphic stuff with us for sure. Okay, let me. Is it gonna? I mean, this is already pushed, right? So my local stuff can no longer should be affecting this. Like if I delete my local remote, it should not be affecting it. So let's go. I don't know if I've ever removed a remote. Actually, is it just get remote, remove, get remove remote, get remove remote? RM. Get remote RM Adafruit. So then we could get fetch. So this is what I should have done, is fetch CircuitPython, and then I should have made that branch from CircuitPython. Ended up being the same, but this is definitely how I should have done it. And then, yeah. This is our PR from CircuitPython with the stubs that failed. It's fine though. That one's on flip input, and then annotation we did today. So then, yeah, I think with those changes, both of these, flip input and annotation, should both be done, I think. And then I think there's maybe one more. Yeah, switch around. We'll do switch around as well. And then, well, actually, let's check. Is there one in there? No, not yet. Okay. We want to do that? 12:30. Yeah, why don't we could go ahead and do that. That was pretty quick. Let's do one more. We'll do switch around, and then I'll call it a day after that, I think. So let's get one more of these. I do have 2 repos on this one. Interesting. We could get this window. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so here, let's go, status. Okay. Is there a way to list remotes? Is this -v? -v? Yeah. Okay. We have both remotes already, so we can go get fetch CircuitPython, get checkout, prep, rename org. org. From CircuitPython main no track. Bit checkout, no, quite git -b also. Okay. Okay. Oh, how I ended up with a less than sign. Checkout -b, new name, CircuitPython main no track. And so this time we could actually start by going find, even do replace if we want to be fancy. Replace, oops. Org. Place. Set up pi also. No, that's a different find. Same replace though. Interesting. Okay, I think that's all we need. The two changes again. Both of these lines in README. The URL line in setup pi, also in the code of conduct down here. Yep. Okay. foamyguy, yep. Are there missing things? Let's see. Well, I think oh, RST, readme RST. Oh wait, no, I'm in readme RST. Yeah, I don't think there are any more references to the old one. Are there still others? I think I got them all with find replace. URLs inside readme RST. Might be some in here though, actually. Yeah. There's some in here actually. Docs, okay, yeah. Yeah, good call. Good call actually. Yeah, we did miss this one. How about sample stays the same because those are relative. API doesn't actually call, well, it's also relative basically, I think. This one's not found. Okay. Docs, index, RST. Yeah, thank you for the catch. I appreciate that. We probably need to do that. We probably need to do that in annotation as well. Honestly, maybe the other ones too. I don't know. It's possible I forgot it in the other ones. Even the one that's merged already. What about conf? That I don't think needs to change. I don't think that does either. For that. These I think stay the same. Not entirely sure what all of these are. Still queued in GitHub Actions. Next stream. Dang, 20 minutes and it's still in the queue. That's crazy. I wonder. Yeah, I think mine probably never actually finished the rest of the way. I'm sure some of these builds are still running. Yeah. Gotta get some more gerbils over there at Microsoft. Been flaky for the last week. Yeah, that's like, it's kind of the trade-off. Like, a lot of stuff I do does not have a whole lot of complex infrastructure in it, especially for work and stuff. It's cool to see like what you can do with actions and how much stuff you can automate, but there are times where it's just like, oh, GitHub's thing is broken right now, like, and I can't iterate on my project because of that, and it's definitely rough. Oh yeah, I saw those going around, like where people were making PRs with weird crypto scam stuff in it. I don't even know really what it was doing, if it was mining with those instances or whatever, but I saw a couple of those come through. Yeah, that would be awesome. I totally agree with that. I really wish we could run the actions locally. That would be really nice, honestly, because it would let you know like if everything's gonna pass before you push. We could try to do that with pre-commit, but it's still a little bit different than the actions, and it runs other things. You can run each of those commands individually, but if you could go like I don't know, I think it'd be cool if you could just go like, you know, GH actions or something simple like that, and as part of the command line tool, it would run them all for you. That would be super awesome. Mining, okay, yeah, that's a bummer that people find things like that to abuse. It's a bummer that we can't just like trust people not to do that. Okay, did I push? I think I got both of those. Oh yeah, we need to finish making this. These are the changes. We should have 2 commits here now, I think. Maybe it wants to refresh. Yeah, we have 2 now. So the changes required, let's say needed for changing the repository name to include org. The repo should be renamed to at the same time that this gets merged. Oh, let's copy it out of here. Okay, great. And I guess this will have the same thing with reviewers, right? It's not going to be listed. We could maybe handle that now as well. This doesn't make sense. What is up if we do graphics? Okay. Self-hosted runners. Okay. Only runs after you've pushed to a branch. Interesting. I'll have to look into that as well. Like I said, I would really love a way to do it separate from GitHub. A nice cluster with a bunch of Xeons. Yeah. Waiting on Microsoft. That'll be cool though. I think it will be cool, like kind of fundamentally, if it can start from an image that has a lot of that stuff in it. Especially like the compiler and stuff. I don't know if that stuff is pre-built in, but that would save a bunch of that time for installing dependencies. Nice. All right. So we got these two in. Let me make sure that annotations. Sure this got the second commit here. Yeah, it's running. Yeah, okay. All right, I think I'm gonna call it a day for now. I think, so I know Scott's gonna be gone for the next 2 Fridays. My plan is tentatively to stream on Friday nights, so like it'll be an hour later. So Scott usually starts at so he's in Pacific time. He usually starts at 2 p.m. Pacific, I think. What I know is that he usually starts at 4 p.m. my time, and I will not be able to start until 5 p.m. my time. So 1 hour later than the normal deep dive. And it will depend a little bit on what's going on Friday. Like if there's something super crazy going on Friday afternoon, then I might not be able to. But like as long as nothing crazy comes up, that's my plan, is to stream on Friday, and then it'll be like an hour later than deep dive. So if folks are interested, that'll probably be the next time that I stream, and then I'll do Saturday again the next day. So Saturday morning the following day, I'll be back in this same time slot, 10 a.m. Central, and I'll stream again then as well. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for hanging out, Fede. I not know about the stubs. Yeah, it's kind of a weird little niche thing, like especially if you don't ever use the IDEs. You've never had to set it up in there. Like it's kind of on the edge of the thing there. Switch editors. Yeah, Mu does not have it yet. That would be cool though if we could get it built into Mu. That would be cool. And this is like a big step along the way, because like previously we couldn't get them uploaded into PyPy the right way, and now that they'll be there, it'll be easier for other editors to add on support. So fingers crossed, maybe Mu will come along and be able to add support for that. That would be awesome. So, all right, but that's going to be it for now. Thank you to all the folks who tuned in. Fede, thanks again. Samurai, thanks for tuning in and helping out a bunch. Who else? Dexter was here. Brent. Saw a couple others, maybe Doctor, I don't remember. Johnny. Yeah, Dexter. So, thanks for tuning in, folks. Again, I'll see you on Friday if you're interested for these next 2 weeks while Scott's gone, but otherwise, next Saturday will be the next one. So, I'll see you then.